All right, guys, what the heck is good? Today we are installing a coolant temp gauge in my wife's drift car. Got this Chinese EMS gauge here. Got the ice on my wrist, Miata gang hat on, dog on the counter. Let's get this shit done. It's hot as fuck in here. First of all, we gotta get something to hold this stupid ass door open. That's better. Didn't work. So we're gonna work out where we're gonna put the gauge actually, but I think I'm getting rid of this one because it's useless. Oil pressure, volts. This one just tells you miles per gallon, sets the limiter thing for the shift light and your mile per hour, whatever. We don't need this, stupid drift car. Don't need that. So it's gonna get tucked underneath the dash and still plugged in, or if you unplug it, all the can shit's gonna freak out. So it's gonna get sandwiched down there and then the gauge is gonna go right there. So you gotta take the shift knob and all this garbage off. You just pull up on this and it rips out like that. And hold on. All right, once you got this thing looking like a meth missile and you got this thing out, you're gonna bring it over to the bench. Once you got this garbage out, this just little screen, there's these two clips right here, it pulls right the heck out. Then, now you got room for your gauge, right? And it's gonna go right there. But first, you gotta take this little plastic piece off the gauges. You come over here, we're gonna hollow this out, and the gauge is gonna go right there. So it's gonna be water, oil, and volts. Almost forgot. Safety squints. When you're done trimming it, make sure you plug it in before you slide it in, because you're not gonna be able to plug it in once it's in there. So that's how it's gonna look. Silver ring had to go, but when you're looking at the car, you're not gonna be able to tell. And unless you sit like this, you're not gonna be able to see the gap. So back here, driver's seat view, it's gonna look pretty dang sick. Here's the wiring. Red and yellow go together or the gauge won't turn on. Black ground, green is sensor wire. Gotta run the sensor wire still. Gotta install the, where is it at? This, which is the, hold on. That's better, you get it now. Install this right here on the top hose. And you gotta cut the hose in half, slide this side in there, slide that side in there. Gauge goes right here. You ground the sensor to, where is the sensor? Here it is. I'm not sure which side is which. I think white is positive, blue is negative, and then you ground this somewhere over there, and boom, there you go. That's your temp gauge. So, gotta clean all this stuff up, but yeah, wired. For the power wire, I'm gonna use one of these little squeezy connectors. I don't really like these, but in this situation where I want the stock gauges to still get power, and I don't want to cut that wire, I know I could cut and solder it, but then it won't be able to be disconnected, right? Like this, I can just open it back up, pull the wire out, and then boom, it'll come out. So this is what I'm using for this. And boom, it's on. I haven't read, I haven't cleaned it yet, but I don't know, it has a bunch of other colors. It doesn't have orange, sadly, but I think red's the best because it matches the red needles and all that. So yeah, pretty neat. Now I got a wire finished up, and then I'll show a video when I get that in there and was it running. So the wire you want is that green with the yellow stripe, the third one over from the top right if you're looking at the pressy side. So the third one on the top right, right there. You want that one. But yeah, that's the switched ignition 12 volt. The red with the white stripe is the constant. You don't want that one. That one will have the gauge on 24/7. And boom, just like that, pendejo, you got all gauges. You got this cool little red one now too for your water temp. Ooh, fancy. No more little dummy water temp gauge that doesn't move until 250 degrees. And you get to know when your car's melting down. Very cool. Easy. Oh, don't tell me, you fat. It's too big. Well, after you sawzall the hose in half, you realize that your adapter is the wrong size. What is this? Where's it at? 42 millimeter right there. Wrong size. So, looking at having to order another one, and it's not being done till tomorrow. So, that's neat. All right, it is the day after yesterday, and the new Ching Chong adapter came in, and I'm just gonna put it in right now. There it is, all installed right there. Boom! And you come over here. Check it out. You got the coolant temp gauge right there. It's working. As you can see, the car's slowly warming up. Coolant gauge is a little bit off of 100. Yeah, right there, a little bit off 100. Oil pressure, all that good stuff. So yeah, that's how you install a coolant temp gauge in your 350Z.